are indeed elements likely to contribute to the better development of the information society. In what concerns security, I'd like to say that indeed, as far as the confidentiality of data and the protection of private life, I mean, they are absolutely essential, but also consumer confidence in the information society rests a lot on the level of security and trust that they have in this type of services. I proposed a few amendments of my own, and I'd like to highlight the importance of developing systems of electronic governance. Here I'd like to insist upon the systems of public acquisitions through electronic means. Since 2005, the Member States pledged that by 2010, 50% of all public acquisitions will be done by electronic means, but we're far from that right now. So I hope that at least by 2015, the situation will be resolved. Also, in what concerns the invoice directive, we know that the new commissioner pledged to support this initiative, and I know that in April there will be a ministerial conference in Spain which is precisely intended to develop this initiative concerning the electronic bill and implement it at European level. Now, recent studies indicate that if you want to fill in a VAT form online, the costs for a business will decrease by €10 per VAT statement. And this, at the level of the entire European Union, would mean something like €500 million saved. So there are benefits for the information society, but there are tremendous benefits for consumers and also benefits that derive from the decrease in public expenditure. Also, if we talk about public acquisitions, we have to say that they account for 16% of the EU GDP. So it's an extremely significant market from that point of view, and remarkable things can be done also in the health sector, the e-health sector in our particular case. Expenditures then amount to somewhere between 11 and 18% of all public expenditure. Now, Mr. Chairman, allow me to tell you that unfortunately in Europe today there's no interoperability between the various public services, especially when it comes to providing this service via electronic means. For instance, a German public company cannot provide services to France because the legislation in this country demands a digital certificate issued in France, and this can only be done if the company in question is actually registered in France. So this is why I'm more than happy to see the Stork and another project which deal with interoperability for electronic identity and also for public acquisitions by electronic means. These will be completed in late 2011, and as far as I know, in October the European Commission will come up with an action plan for electronic governance. We're looking forward to it. And in this action plan for e-government, I like to see that the security and interoperability chapters concerning the electronic signature and the electronic identity be indeed key elements. And I'll conclude with a short reference to the intelligent cities, intelligent metering. This is one type of service likely to improve the quality of life for all European citizens. So once again, let me congratulate the rapporteur, and I truly believe that the vote that we'll have tomorrow will truly kickstart activities in the field of the digital agenda. Thank you.
Mr. Tsoukalas, it's your turn.
Σας ευχαριστώ κύριε Πρόεδρε. Πολύ σύντομα πήρα το λόγο για να ευχαριστήσω πρώτα την...
Just very briefly, I asked for the floor, first of all, to thank Mrs. Pilar del Castillo for her excellent report. I would also like to thank the colleagues who have examined the report in great detail. It's a very important instrument which the Parliament is making available to the Commission for implementation of policy. I think it's important to understand that we're talking here about the future of Europe. As it will occur in the 21st century, a lot of activities by citizens and public bodies of the European Union will depend on these technologies. We already have an announcement from the Commission, from the American Commission on Telecoms, and from the American administration is trying to give citizens, schools, and other centers the resources that they need to work. And this is a challenge for Europe. If we want our challenge, if we want the objective that we've set for 2020 of excellence to be achieved, and if we want to continue to be a knowledge-based society, the colleagues looked very carefully at issues relating to youth and the digital divide, because the digital divide is something which is starting to create a gap in society, creating technological illiterates from the age of 17, and this is particularly serious for people who are just starting in their careers. But the problem is that we haven't really had an IT revolution, because a revolution means that each citizen would have a possibility of advancing. And now everyone can press on a button or a switch and get electricity. And we need to ensure that IT reaches this scale as well. And until it has done so, we need to support those who are at a disadvantage. This morning, we talked about the intelligent environment of the Internet, and we talked about all of the reservations that we had with regard to that, and I would like to thank all of the colleagues. And I think that the European Union will benefit from this instrument which the Parliament is making available to ensure that this vision is realized.
A bit late, so thanks for giving me the floor. And so I will not abuse it. I will not abuse it. I'll be very short. I think that most of the things that the Greens had to say have already been said in previous meetings and today. So thank you, Pilar, for first working quite fast. Second, integrating most of the things that many of us brought on board. So I think that you have been true to your word that you would work in an inclusive way. And so I have only one issue, and you know it, with the report, and that's the amendment for creating a paragraph 19A. I mean, we had these long discussions on Amendment 138, and really, I hate us even slightly opening the door to that debate again. And so I would really keep that thing out, because I think that paragraph 19 in itself, the 19, as it is reworded, is enough about the need for a balance between authors' rights and diffusion of culture, of contents on the internet. So I would keep 19 and 19b. I mean, the fact that in 19b you say that, well, there is a need to find a new model for basically ensuring the authors' rights, and they are rewarded and encouraged